Well, hey there, YouTube, fellow silver stackers, silver pourers, silver enthusiasts. AG Ender coming back to you again with part 3 of Saturday Pours. And we're going to do a few graphite molds here. As you saw in part 3, I did a California, and that individual wanted a small graphite California and a big wood pour California, so we'll get that done. We'll set that right there. As you can see, I did pick up a hot plate, so we'll get my molds nice and warm, move them over here when the silver's ready and pour it. But of course, we've got my 2 new molds, a home plate with a baseball in the middle, and the maze with the little small bar below. Like I said, I'll try that out, see how big that turns, how big that is, how much it weighs at the end. And then the maze will definitely make sure this one's nice and warm. And like I said before, I'm a little weary, but I think it's going to hold up fine. Never know till you pour it, so let's get to it. Get some silver melted, get the mold heated up, and see how we do. Hold tight, see you in a moment. Okay, the silver looks to be ready. The mold should be ready as well. So let's go ahead and move it over. The only problem is this mold seems like it's tilting to the right, but we'll see. I'm kind of on the fence a little bit with this one. I haven't poured into this mold for quite a while now, but actually now that I look at it a little closer, it looks pretty good. One little spot of flux there that I can get off, no problem. So we'll put that in there to cool out. And there you go. So it should be right at 2 ounces. Had 2.03 in the dish when I started to melt, so we'll see where it ends up. I will be right back for the next pour, and we'll see actually what this new mold ends up weighing. So hold tight, see you soon. Okay, so I know I've got far more silver than I'm going to need melted here, but I wanted to make sure. So let's move the mold over and make this one pour. Well, over poured there, so we're gonna have to remelt this. Did have a little bit too much in there, so hold tight. We'll come back for attempt number 2. A real quick look here, and I would have had to re-pour it anyways. I got a bubble right on the baseball, right on the stitching. So this is obviously too much, but it did turn out real nice all the way around. So we'll, like I said, would have been a definite re-pour regardless, but we'll give it another shot. Let's see how it looks. Alright, the silver is just about there, so we'll get the mold moved over. We'll just have to remember to short pour it a little bit based on what's in the dish. So here we go. I think that one will turn out. It all depends on if I avoided bubbles. So, did probably get another bubble in there, but not as bad as the first time. Didn't quite get all of the stitching on that pour. So, I think we'll give this one more shot. See how it looks. So hold on, get some silver melted and be back for try number 3. Okay, the silver's ready, so here we go with number, I don't know, 4 now. Try and make sure it's nice and hot here this time. And I don't know if you've noticed, but I am trying to pour first on the flat part so it flows into the ball part so I don't get a bubble. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I think we nailed it on that one. Grab the pliers here, and there we go. Home plate with a baseball in the middle. It is a little bit raised, you can see here. So that is, on try 4, a success. So time to move on to the maze. So get some more silver melted. Basing it off this, I'm going to melt 5 ounces and see where that gets me in that maze mold. So hold on, I'll see you in a moment. I've got 5 ounces melted, ready to go. Let's see how this turns out. Mold should be nice and hot. Looks like it's dead on 5 ounces, so I'm going to let this one sit a little bit before I take it out, because I don't want the ridges and the walls in the mold of the maze to crack. So hold tight, I'll see you in a moment when I drop it in the water. Well, you can see it's sitting out a little bit. All I did was shake it and it came free. So in the water we go. Yeah, I did lose part of one wall, but it should still be just fine as long as I don't lose any more. Was afraid of that. I actually lost 2 little parts. I don't know. I guess we'll see. I might have to retool this mold. Not myself, but redesign it. Maybe get a little bit thicker walls so they don't come apart like that. That did turn out real nice. I'm a little disappointed that cracked, but that turned out pretty nice. So we will give another pour. I'm going to leave this one, of course, as it is. Maybe break off this little bead here on the edge by my finger, but I'll be right back. We'll do a second pour and we'll see how that looks. Hopefully no more of the mold gives way, but we'll find out. Okay, we're ready for maze number 2. A little bit of splash over there. Those should be fine though. I should be able to snap those off without too much of an issue. That's kind of odd. As it's cooling, it's pulling itself up out of the mold already. I don't know if that's good, bad, or indifferent. So, see here. Came out. And the mold's dead. And you see a whole bunch of them there that are all pulled up. So we will have to redesign this one. Maybe make a few less lines so they can be thicker and still have the maze effect. So that's too bad. I was hoping that'd be a little bit sturdier than that, but I guess you were spot on, Mr. Atlantis Mint, when you gave your misgivings about it. So at least I guess I got this small one to do. We'll do that real quick. We'll see how much that weighs out to. So set this back on here. So one little funky spot where it burned out, where the first part broke, and then the edges I can cut those off, no problem. So I think I managed to get 2 out of this. Maybe one little spot there, but not bad. So yep, that's too bad. I'll have to see what we can do to redesign this mold. Anyways, hold tight. I'll be right back for the small bar pour. Okay, so I've got the bits of extra that I had from earlier pour today, about 3/4 of an ounce, give or take. Might be able to snag a little bit more from the edges of the dish here. Okay, here we go. Get the spout hot. It might not be enough silver to fill this, but we'll see. Nope. Not quite enough. That's probably, it's at least an ounce. It might be an ounce and a half that will hold. So we'll try that again here in a couple minutes. I'll see you shortly. Maybe what I'll do is add an ounce to that and remelt it and pour it again. So hold tight. I'll see you. Okay, here we go with the little small bar. Attempt number 2. Yeah, I'm going to like that. One little spot on the side, but that's one of those things where you're going to have to pour it a few times to know how much silver it takes, because I was trying not to splash over the side, but this one turned out well. A couple of cooling pools there, so drop that in the water and pull it out. Whoa. Dry it off a little bit. There's it back, nice and smooth. And the front, nice pour lines there. So we'll clean this one up. Got a few pieces to tumble here later tonight. This is definitely one of them. Once again, I do want to thank Silver Mold Maker making these molds for me. He is just figuring things out, so I am not disappointed. Well, I'm disappointed it broke, but not in him. It's a complex mold, and one of those that when I saw it, I was worried about it, and you never know really until you pour into it what it's going to do. So that being said, and great job, of course, on both molds, but the baseball in home plate there turned out amazing. So we will narrow things down and figure them out between the two of us and find one that does work. So hold tight on that one. Hopefully in another few weeks we'll have that hammered out and have a mold that can be put out there a few more times, and hopefully a few people like the maze look. So that will do it for now. Thank you all for stopping by. Like, shares, comments, subscriptions, all greatly appreciated. I will do a wrap up part 4 of my weekend pouring here, Saturday pours, and show you how everything came out. There was one bar, the Colorado, I messed up the stamping right there. I screwed up the Y. Don't know how well the mistake shows up. There you go. Now you can see it a little bit better. Kind of disappointed because I liked that cooling, the way it cooled with kind of the tree look, but all for naught. This one will be redone. No big deal. At least it was a simple mold, just a rectangle with a little bit of expanding size, because Colorado is not a dead rectangle. It's got a little bit of angle to the sides, but not a lot. So this is a real simple one to cut in a piece of wood. So we'll get to that probably next weekend. I think I'm good with what I've done for now, since polishing it up is going to take a little bit of time, and polishing up a few other pieces. So like I said, I will see you in part 4. Thanks again. AG Enders signing off. Have a good night.